Welcome in on a Thursday, and Mother Nature has blessed us. No tigers, because we have no time for them today. Because we have, I think, one of the most thought-provoking opens to this show in history. And I will tell you, I came into work thinking one thing, and I am currently sitting here thinking another, all because of the man to my left. See, I was going to start the day today with a completely different question regarding the now deceased O.J. Simpson. But as I began to ask the question, I'll just tell the people the question. I was going to ask the Holy Ghost revival of Rico and David. Gentlemen, how bad of a person am I that I'm happy he's gone, as I thought he was human garbage? And then all of a sudden, Rico, without looking up, Rico had his professorial glasses on. He was working on legislation. Rico just lowered his glasses right to the edge of his beak and goes, "You know he didn't kill those people." I go, oh no, not this. And what proceeded to take place was as thought-provoking, informational, and potentially mind-altering a speech from Rico Beard as I've ever heard. So what I want to do is this. I want Rico to present this because all I can ever think of when you bring up OJ is I was watching Knicks Rockets, 13 years old, and wait, what's happening?
I was in grad school, and I was rooting for the Knicks, and I'm like, why am I watching this car on the freeway? What is this? What is going on?
Correct. But David, I have to bring you in on this because Kenny and I were taken aback. Rico said what he said to me. You then popped out of the cubicle going, I've thought that for a while. I'd like to do Rico Presents. Can we do that?
Okay.
Because I want you to share what you shared with me. And I'm telling you, it stopped me in my tracks.
So how much time do I have here? Do I need to just speed it up?
Nope. Ready? Microphone's off.
No, it all started because when everything came down, it looked as if OJ had did it. Right? The jury said he didn't do it and he got off, and now it's a whole different subject. But something just never sat right with me because it was like, okay, you hear about what the horrific crime was and how the two, Nicole and Ron, were stabbed to death. And, not to get too graphic, but it was almost a decapitation. And then I saw that the ESPN 30 for 30, it was a 5-part series. Made in America.
Made in America, sorry.
And they actually showed the crime scene, like police footage of the actual crime scene. And you saw the amount of blood that was all around. And then you go back and say, well, wait, they just found like a couple drops on OJ. Like, I'm like, I don't think that OJ did this because there would be blood everywhere. Mike, you're a cook. When you're in the kitchen cooking raw meat, the blood gets everywhere, let alone a person fighting you, a struggle, it's going to go. So what I've often thought was like, maybe he was covering for somebody. And then it got to the point where, I thought it was his son, Jason. His son, Jason, at the time was in his early 20s, I believe, had the same build as OJ. He was a chef. He worked with knives. He wasn't the most stable person. And I thought that, I think OJ knew, and I don't ever think that they really pursued it because they wanted OJ to be guilty. But I think OJ was protecting his kid the entire time and knew, you can come after me all you want because in the end, you're not going to have enough evidence because I know it's not me, but I do know who it is. He covered it up. Now, I don't know why. I mean, maybe the son, he could have hired the son. I don't know why the son went and did what he did, but I do think it's his son. And now Jason Simpson has really pretty much fallen off the face of the earth. You haven't heard from him since that trial. He has just disappeared. Even if you try to call him at his job.
I did. They did not answer.
Now, David, people, here's what I want to know. I want this to be an open discourse. OJ's dead. I felt pretty good about that when I heard the news. Then Rico's like, I wouldn't feel good about that. I go, why? Well, I don't think he killed those people.
Well, you should never feel good about somebody dying, just in general.
Oh, I think there's a short list of people you can have party poppers for dying. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Was I supposed to be sad when they threw Osama over a boat?
No, I said I didn't disagree. I just said I didn't think that he was on your short list of people.
Oh, he's human garbage. But the minute you said what you said, David popped up and said, well, I believe that too. Then Powers walks through the door with his normal burrito bowl lunch, and he's like, well, golly gee willikers, I believe the same. So I said, oh, to hell with this. We're opening the show with
Because, Mike, if you would have killed the people in that style, like if he shoots them, yeah, I wouldn't believe it. But the amount of blood that it would take to do all of that would be all over you. It wouldn't just be a drop here and a drop there and a little smudge. Man, you couldn't wash it off in that short a period of time, which is why I think Son did it. They never pursued the Son, so Son had enough time to burn the clothes and do whatever. And
Here are some of the details. Here are some of the questions that have been, because Rico sent me down a rabbit hole regarding OJ's oldest son. Guy was a sous chef, so he worked with knives all the time. He was at work that night. There are questions as to whether he used the time clock to punch out that night. If you're a chef, what do you take home with you? Your knives.
Your knives.
They don't stay at work. Then you have the, what was it called? Random rage disorder, or whatever this guy had, bipolar. Then there's the thought process of he was supposed to be cooking for the family that night. It would place him at the house, right? He was already on probation for allegedly threatening someone with a knife. Like, Rico sent me down a rabbit hole. So here's all I want to know. David, people, do not be ashamed to walk from the shadows and walk into the light. Mm-hmm. I want to say something very transparent. Rico had major trepidation doing this because he felt I was setting up a rake. And I would like to tell you, there's no rake. Do you see a rake? I don't see a rake. I want people to be able to walk out of the shadows and into the light if you share Rico's opinion. Because OJ's dead, and I was all pumped up. And then Rico's got me feeling guilty about it because he said he ain't the killer. Have you held the conspiracy that it was not OJ? And the theory of one Rico Lamar Beard is that it was OJ's oldest son.
And let me clarify. I'm not saying OJ was a good person and OJ was a saint. But, yeah, I think when it came to this, he went to his grave protecting his kid. I think his kid did it. And they never really went down that angle because I think with OJ leaving and then the white Bronco chase, he had the appearance of a guilty man. Why would you run, Juice? Why would you do this? I don't think that he wanted to. He was trying to get out of town because he knew, in my opinion, this looks bad. And he knew, this is my kid. I got to protect my kid at all cost. And I'll go on trial. And if he's guilty, I think he would have kept his mouth shut and never said a thing. But there would have been blood all over him, blood all in the like his truck, whatever he had. It would have been everywhere, Mike, because that scene was horrific when I saw it. That particular scene changed everything, paradigm shifting.
Now, you were on the Court TV camera crew for the trial.
No, I was not. I was still in grad school. So,
David,
but it consumed everybody because we watched it every day.
It was the trial of the century involving a major sports celebrity and TV celebrity. And I mean, dude, I was 13. Every day, like I would listen to the Howard Stern show. Every day.
Bruh.
Then it was on the news every day.
I had grad classes at MSU driving back to the apartment so I could sit and watch it. Like, oh, let's get this class over with because I don't want to miss this.
Now, David supports your theory.
I do support his theory. I have always leaned in the direction of this. Again, let me just preface this. I was in second grade when the trial was going on. So a lot of the information I get from this is from my father, who has believed for years that OJ did not do this.
It's unbelievable.
And I've gone down the rabbit hole even more so since Rico has said it. It's leaning in the direction that he may not have done this.
I want you people to treat this like confessional. except there's no priest and a screen. There's just us.
Yeah.
I want you to say, is Rico speaking the truth? Your truth. No one will ever know the truth.
You won't. Because
Especially now because OJ's dead.
Right. But I just think that the evidence, if you take away the name and just put John Brown out there and you look at the physical evidence, it doesn't add up, Mike. That's what got me. It was like he should have been drenched in blood. It should have been everywhere in his hair. I mean, everything should have had the blood on it. And it was just a few droplets here. It was a smudge there. It was this. It was like, that doesn't add up.
Yeah, because people want to say, oh, well, he changed clothes. Okay, well, then where's the evidence of all the blood from where he changed the clothes?
David, once again, if you're just in the kitchen doing stuff and like stuff gets all, and you're like, oh, how did that get here? Man, how did that get all up my sleeve?
Now, can I just say one thing? I mean, I am thrilled at this discovery because it's a topic that I never imagined we'd be doing. Can you at least give me this? That at best, OJ is an accessory to murder. That OJ played a role in a woman getting her head cut off by, at a minimum, potentially covering up for someone.
I said.
Okay.
Trust, this is not me saying OJ was a great guy and father of the year. No.
I just want to make sure.
What I'm saying is he actively participated in a cover-up.
So am I okay feeling good he's dead?
Sure.
Does that get a spiritual blessing?
I can't give you a spiritual blessing, but I'm not going to judge you either. It's one of those, you know what, Mike? If you're okay with that, then I'm okay with that.
If the spirit doesn't fit, you must acquit.
It's or the spirit may just look the other way as you celebrate. How about that?
All right. 248-539-9797. Oh, bet your ass we're going to talk some draft today, 2 weeks from today. Your dream outcome in Detroit. Oh, we also got to talk about our new Hollywood sign.
Do we?
With garbage on the streets.
Do we?
Nice use of $400,000 there. And the Masters starts today. A question that I think Tiger could lead a different revolution. Much like Rico is a thought leader here and people are crawling out from the darkness to share their truth, I think Tiger Woods could do the same. Because a lot of men refuse to admit something. We have so much to talk about. But we start Rico, the rabbit hole. Do you believe OJ's innocent? And do you believe it was his oldest son? Rico presents. That's how we're starting the show today.
Yeah. I always thought it was Jason.
Personal growth. I was going to hit a button. We're not going to do that.
Okay.